Good evening, and welcome to Vintage Keys Studio. I'm a walking skeleton, a living spectre, and today I'm going to be demonstrating and letting some other people demonstrate the recordings of the Fostex A8 personal multi-track tape recorder from 1981. This machine came to me a while back. It was another one that they said, oh, this one's been serviced. So I thought, okay, so I got it here, put it on, press play, and then the reels went round and it went, and then all of the transport, these things here, they all fell off and unscrewed, and all of these white bits you can see here were black, and there was just black and brown, and it was awful, and the heads were terrible. I cleaned it all up. I took the top cover off and found that inside there's two hubs underneath here that are driven by the motor that's got like little pulleys on, and they were touching the underside case of the tape recorder, and that was what was causing the. So what I did is I took it all to bits and filed bits of the hub thing off and put some little shims, little washery type things, shims on the sort of spindles that they sat on, and then put a bit of oil on them, and it came back working like that and working a treat, and it wasn't going at all. I have to say, I did have to look at the service manual to work out how to take it to bits, because it's like anything like this. It's there's about 50,000 screws in weird places, and if you're not careful, you'll just end up just snapping it all, like I quite often do, for fun. I also oiled all the moving bits, like these things here, to stop them squeaking. I used sintered bearing oil, which I just happened to have lying around the place because I used that on this Ampex PR99 2-track machine. But anyway, this Fostex A8, if you're still watching, it's an 8-track machine designed for the home market in the 80s. I think it's a sort of like a budget version of the other one, which I can't remember what. It's probably the A8 Plus or something like that. I don't know, but I'll have to look it up later. But I don't really care what it's called. A8, and it's got 8 tracks on it, which are across a 1/4-inch size head. You can't, in fact, I'd have to just get rid of the tape a minute. So if you see in here, this is the erase head. You can see 8 sectors on there, and then this is the record and playback head in there. You can see there's 8 record and playback areas on that head. So it plays back 8 tracks, and you can record 8 tracks, but you can't record them all at once. You can only record 4 tracks at a time on this particular model. I am in the process of trying to redesign it a bit inside so that I can record on 8 tracks all at once, because it's got 8 record and reproduce and sync cards, which means that you can, in theory, record on all 8 tracks independently. And it's got this daft group thing here where you can either, if you look on here, the tape ready buttons down, so that means they're armed for recording and they're flashing red there, and that's on group 1 to 4, and then that's gone over here, these are flashing red now on here, group 5 to 8. But you can only do that or that, you can't do them both. Which is okay if you're just doing sort of like, either kind of 4-track recording, live 4-track recording, or just doing, multiple tracks individually, which is perfectly okay. And obviously you can still mix between them all. So yeah, so there's like a kind of a logic gate system inside that is routing all the different track assignments to each other. And there's only 4 of them that are shared, and that's the problem with this thing. But never mind, it's fine. I'm just using it as a 4-track asterisk. 4-track unlimited asterisk. Now, when touching tape, you should not touch the inside bit, which has got all the recorded part on there. Only, you can't really avoid it when you're trying to sort of lace it up. But generally, when tapes are new, they've got a leader tape, which is like a clear. It can be a clear piece of tape or a red or green or whatever bit of tape at the beginning of it that acts as a marker as well, because you can put it in between sections of tape to say, right, this is track 1 or whatever, and then put a white piece of tape in the middle, and it's now that's track 2. And that's how they used to do it for record pressing. They'd have all these bits of tape in the middle of tracks. So when you look at a record and you see there's the gap on the grooves where the space between the grooves has been increased ever so slightly, that is when it was originally cut. The person making the record cut would have been watching the tape machine and looking at the clock and everything, and then he'd see, or she would see a piece of leader tape coming up, and they go, oh, and then they do what they ever have to do, they press a button or something or other, and it does like a little thing. But anyway, we're not talking about record pressing today. Now, this machine is, as I say, it's a home market version, so it's not like a pro machine. But after doing a bit of mucking about with it, with the lining up settings on here, and changing the EQ, the playback EQ, and the calibrationing stuff, I've got it to sound pretty good. And it's probably as good now as the PR99 machine sounds. I think I should just stop talking and just play you something that I recorded earlier. Okay, this is a test track that I recorded when I first got it working, and it's got me playing acoustic guitar on track 1, which is coming out on here on channel 21 on the desk, and another acoustic guitar, track 2, channel 22. Then there's drums there, which I did just with I think it was a Coles mic over the top of the kit, and then a quick piano, which was recorded from that same Coles mic that was over the drum kit, just sort of in the background. But just to check it was all working. But anyway, here it is. I forgot to say, on channels 5 and 6, I also recorded some spring reverb as well, for fun. And you can actually hear the sound of me. I just recorded the spring reverb, and then I was wiggling the pitch control on the tape recorder, so it would speed up and slow down the recording. Those of you who don't believe me that that's a spring reverb can hear the actual spring reverb here. I'll just do that and then bring up the wizard. I've got my spring reverb that I made, stereo one, plugged into this, and you can hear it there. When I record on this thing, I have rigged up a patch bay over here, so I can either use the hill desk. So I've usually got the drums coming through channels 1 to 10, depending on how I mic them up. And then I can sort of use these other eight channels, so 1 to 8 there, and another one 9 to 16 there, so they can all be used for whatever is plugged in over there. Or now with my patch bay that I did with a sticker I designed on the computer, because I can use a computer, the patch bay now has the ability so I can actually bring the sound from the ELA desk here, which is an old broadcast desk. I can choose to just record out from there and then plug straight into whichever of the 4 inputs to the tape recorder that you want. Or you can put it through various different compressors. We've got the various things. You've got an old Neve channel strip over there, and the Lobster Alltech compressor RS124 that I've kind of bodged up that works. It's not plugged in at the moment. Various things. You can actually patch them all in. It's quite useful. Now, any sound in this studio, coming from anywhere, you can patch into this, and then play it all out through the desk here, and mix it either into the computer, or with some more plugs, you can record it onto the Ampex 406. You can add tape echo from the Akai 4000D and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, that's enough old twaddle. Now we're going to be having a look at a session that we did here a few days ago with a great bunch of guys. In fact, it's just 2 guys, and they call themselves the Henrys, and I'm Noel Edmonds. So here we have a bit of a montage of a few Beatles songs that the Henrys did here.
Used to cry, the world is treating me bad. Misery, I lost her now for sure. I won't see her no more. It's gonna be a drag. Misery, I remember all the little things we've done. She'll always be the only one. If I give my heart to you, I must be sure from the very start that you would love me more than her. If I trust in you, oh please don't run and hide. If I love you too, oh please don't hurt my brow like that. 'Cause I could understand the pain, and I would be sad if our new love was in vain. So I hope you see that I would love to love you, and that she will cry when she learns we are two. 'Cause I could understand the pain, and I would be sad if our new love was in vain. Something in the way she moves attracts me like no other lover. Something in the way she moves me. I don't wanna leave her now. You know I believe you. underneath no one lover. Somewhere in a style that shows me I don't wanna leave her now. You know I believe in how. Try to please her, she only plays when I said. You try to please her, she only plays when I said now. She was a daydreamer, Sunday trying to forget. She took me so long to find out. Now I found out. Daydreamer, daydreamer, yeah. Daydreamer, daydreamer, yeah. Daydreamer, daydreamer, yeah. Daydreamer, daydreamer, yeah.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the Henrys there on Top of the Pops. If you've enjoyed this video, you might like to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you look down below, you'll see some links to things like Patreon and PayPal. And you may think, oh my God, money? He's asking for money. And as I said, well, if you want to give money, why not? But we do use money very, very carefully here. We use it to repair things like the bloody tape recorder and the desk and the things that sometimes blow up because they're old. I used to work at Air Studios, and they had a team of 6 tech guys on call 24 hours a day because there was always some old bit of equipment that was catching fire or blowing up. Well, they kept it all in good check, but it was just because of the stuff was all old, it needed constant maintenance. And I do all the maintenance here, and I do all the recording here, and I do everything here, and I haven't had a holiday in 9 years. Anyway, good night.
Yeah, baby, don't